I was reading the book Ace by Angela Chen, which unbelievable. I think I'm aroace, but that's for later. But there was one phrase in the book that she mentioned one time, and when I read that phrase, I was like, yeah, that's what it is. And that phrase was culturally homeless. Culturally homeless. That phrase perfectly encapsulates what it feels like every time somebody asks me, where are you from? Because I'm nothing like my mom's and my dad's people. I'm also not anything like the people of where I was born. I'm slowly becoming more and more like the people who are here, but I'm also shaped by where I was born and where my mom is from. So my mom is from a country that didn't exist until 1991. That country is Moldova. Moldova was Bessarabia when my mom was born and for a good chunk of her life. Specifically, my mom is from the portion of Moldova called Transnistria, which is not recognized by most of the world. Transnistria was very, very heavily aligned with the USSR. The people living there are heavily Russian-speaking. The people west of Transnistria don't speak Russian really, they speak Moldovan. Moldovan isn't really a recognized language either because it's what? Romanian. So my mom left Transnistria after the fall of the USSR and went to live and colonize Is Not Real. I was born in Is Not Real and lived there for 10 years. But my culture was nothing like the culture of the people around me. Because my mother did not practice Judaism, she was not culturally Jewish. She was there for the vibes, right? Because her family was Jewish and now she's here. She had little to no connection to actual Judaism. She was just straight up colonizer. So I had no connection to the people around me and the thing we were supposed to have in common, I had not in common with them. My culture was based on the trauma of a person who has lived in a war-torn country her entire life. When I was 10, I moved to the United States, to the North Shore of Chicago. The North Shore of Chicago, people there are so wealthy. They are so incredibly wealthy. Oh my God. Me and my family were not. We were some of the poorest people there by far. On top of that, I'm autistic, which affects the way I socialize and interact with people, creating a greater distance between me and the culture of the people around me, right? Now, I've lived in Chicago for almost 10 years, and that's not nothing. But it's also predicated on there being like 20 more years before that where I wasn't here and I wasn't a part of communities here. So anytime someone asks me, where are you from? I don't fucking know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what people to relate to because I relate to none of them. Because if I say, oh, I'm from Chicago, that's not entirely true, is it? I didn't grow up here. I didn't spend my formative years here. I've lived here, for 10 years, so like long enough to be from Chicago, but the expectations of I'm from Chicago isn't what I'm giving. And it hurts, and it stinks, and I really resent it, but it is what it is. It's good to have the language at least. And all that will fix that is time, because in 10 more years' time, I would have been in Chicago for as long as I wasn't. And at that point, maybe I can say, yeah, I'm from Chicago confidently. But until then, where I'm from, I'm Mr. Worldwide.